Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of the City of Lenoir for Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026. We welcome you here this evening. Thank you for coming out. As we normally do, in a few minutes, we will rise for our moment of silence and remain standing as we salute our country with our Pledge of Allegiance. Going into that time, I would like to mention a couple of families that I would like for you to keep in your thoughts and prayers as we go to this time. First of all, for the family of Mary Petit. Mary was one of our longtime volunteers of the city and loved being a part of that with the volunteer group and worked at almost every event, and she will be missed. But please keep her family, Eddie, her husband, and their family in their thoughts and prayers as she has passed away. And also, please keep our former employee, Kaylin Horn, whose father passed away in Florida this past week. Down there, and they're in Florida now, taking care of arrangements there. But keep Kaylin and John and her family in their thoughts and prayers with the passing of her father. So, if you will, please now join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a proclamation that we will start with tonight. Come down to the forward podium for that. And ask Mr. Harris, you want to join me here in just a minute? Tonight we have a special recognition on behalf of the City Council to present a proclamation to our Communication and Public Information Director, the Honorable Joshua Harris, proclaiming February 20th, 26 as Government Communicators Day. Joshua, you do a great job, and we appreciate all that you do to keep everybody informed and all the things that go on, and thank you for all of that. We always seem to know what's going on, and sometimes I know that's hard to do, but we appreciate that, and that you work and attend so many of other government things that you keep up with and know what's going on with all that. So I'm going to share this proclamation with you so we can celebrate this special day. Government Communicators Day, February 20th, 2026. Whereas the role of government communications professions is to inform, educate, and engage their communities. And whereas robust communication in government creates trust and inspires residents to take action and be involved. And whereas government communications create relationships and calls to action, build awareness and understanding through storytelling, engage and foster engagement. I got it right. You help me write this. Engage and foster engagement on civic issues and use all channels to include people in critical decisions. And whereas it is essential to have strong communications in government because it is a fundamental element of living in a democracy where citizens have the freedom to make their voice heard. And whereas the city of Lenoir is proud and has deep gratitude and recognition for the government communicators' professionalism, dedication, hard work, commitment, enthusiasm, and sacrifice. Now, therefore, I, as mayor of the city of Lenoir, do hereby proclaim February 20th, 2026 as Government Communicators Day in the city of Lenoir and encourage all residents to thank the members of the Communications and Public Information Department who have dedicated their careers to ensure Lenoir has effective, impactful, and successful communication strategies that resonate and are relevant. This is the 20th day of February 2026. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'll let you have the podium for a minute if you want to.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, Council, thank you very much for this recognition. I've been working in local government in North Carolina for more than 18 years now, and I think this is the first one that I've received, so I appreciate your support. Communicating can be difficult at times, but I think at least here in Lenoir and most of my peers across the state, I think they do a great job and put forth a lot of effort to try to let people know about their cities and their counties. And as you know, there's a lot to know. There's a lot of programs, there's a lot of services, there's a lot of departments, there's a lot of people that work every day to provide those things. And our job as communicators is to try to put that before the public so they can see it, they can read it, they can learn about it, and they can engage. I want to thank the department directors for all their assistance in news releases and things that I put out. So I come from the newspaper business, and we work on deadlines. Newspaper business almost 20 years ago now. We work on deadlines, so you're always calling people up, trying to get some information before you put the news release out, trying to get a quote. And our directors and council members are always very responsive, and that makes the job a lot easier. And I also want to thank, there's staff in almost every department that does some form of, there's staff in every department that does communication all the time, daily with the public. But there are a few members that work on social media pages for the various departments and help me when I need it, like Ashley taking a photo today. So I want to thank them for all their hard work. I appreciate them, and I appreciate this recognition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on down. You gotta tell us, photographer.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Everything. I will. Got it in my wallet.
Thanks, sir. Again, thanks, Josh, for all you do and helping keep everything moving along the way you do. We do appreciate that very much. Good job. Okay, we'll move on then to matters scheduled for public hearing this evening. Tonight we have a community development block grant. This is a community CDBG grant. Western Piedmont Council of Governments will hold a public hearing in order to receive citizen input in the development of the community development block grant disaster recovery CDBG-DR applications for the coming year. The funds may be used for disaster recovery and activities including support to help communities deal with recovery from Hurricane Helene, including housing. All projects must predominantly benefit low and moderate income persons. So I will open the public hearing, and I will recognize from the Western Piedmont Council of Governments, Mr. Kyle Case.
Hello, it's good to be with you all. The mayor's already done the hard work because I was going to read that too. So I'm Kyle Case with the Western Piedmont Council of Governments. We're just here to discuss upcoming opportunity for community development block grant funding through the disaster recovery program. This is the first public hearing. All CDBG applications require 2 public hearings. This first public hearing is just a general public hearing to announce the city's intent to apply, or potential intent to apply sometime within the next 12 months. So this public hearing is good for 12 months. The CDBG-DR guidelines have not yet been released, so we do not have specific guidelines on what grant activities will be allowable. However, we do anticipate there being opportunity for infrastructure projects, potentially some housing projects, and some commercial district revitalization projects. Once we know more about the guidelines, we'll hold a second public hearing where we'll speak more specifically to specific projects. But again, this one is just to announce to the public that the city does intend to apply once we have more information later in the year. So I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any, or like I said.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Kyle or concerning this Community Development Block Grant funding? All right, seeing no one, we are in a public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to address the council concerning this public hearing about the Community Development Block Grant funds, this is the time to do so. Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing then, and this will be, of course, this was the first one, so we'll entertain the next one when, is it next month? Whenever it gets ready.
Probably a couple of months.
Okay, that's right. Well, we'll look forward to, for you to come back for that one. So, thank you for being here. All right, we'll move on then on agenda to consent agenda items tonight, consisting of minutes of the city council meeting of Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Item B are the minutes of the city council planning retreat meeting of Friday, February 6th, 2026. Item C is the FY 2026 audit contract. This would be approval of the FY 2026 annual audit contract for the city of Lenoir as submitted by C. Randolph, that's Cindy, thank you. Cindy Randolph, CPA, PLLC, for audit services for the amount of $45,000. Item D is a surplus resolution. This is pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 20-187.2. Staff is recommending the city council adopt a resolution to declare the following police weapon. This is a Sig Sauer P-320 pistol, serial number 58J472282, and police badge of Sergeant Matt Spears upon his retirement, as surplus and no longer have any additional use to the city of Lenoir as submitted. Item E is the proclamation that we did for Government Communicators Day for approval of that. Item F is the resolution. Staff recommends approval of a resolution to declare the city of Lenoir's support regarding implementation of a compliant national pollutant discharge elimination system, municipal separate storm sewer system, that's hard to say, to discharge stormwater, inclusive of the required stormwater management plan prepared by the city of Lenoir and the Western Piedmont Council of Governments and approved by the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. That's the NCDEQ as submitted. So those are the items for the consent agenda, item A through F, and I will turn it over to council for any discussion, question, or motion when ready.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve consent agenda items A through F as submitted.
Have a motion from Councilmember Perkins, Mayor Pro Tem Perkins, that we approve the consent agenda items A through F as presented. If no other motion, question, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, and that is 6-0 tonight. Missing one council member. Councilmember Thomas is out of town. Okay, we'll now move to, on our agenda for requests of petitions of any citizens. As we go to this time on our agenda, I would like to read a statement from the city council that has been prepared tonight. And this statement concerns the sleeping pods that are located on his Humble Hands property in downtown Lenoir. This recently, the city staff met with the property owners of 532 Harper Avenue in downtown Lenoir to discuss a non-permitted use. On January 23rd, his Humble Hands, the renter, moved in some sleeping pods which are not allowed at this location under city zoning. Due to the impending ice storm, city staff held off on any action on the sleeping pods. On January 23rd, the same day city staff visited, His Humble Hands told the city and the property owner that His Humble Hands would move the pods the following week. We completely understood everyone's concerns. None of us want anyone to sleep outside and certainly not to freeze to death. That's why the city gave grace to His Humble Hands and allowed them to use the pods during the storm. After a story on WSOC TV, there were many public accusations against the city and our city staff. These attacks were unfair and unwarranted. Our employees live and work in Lenoir. We're your neighbors and friends. We go to the same churches and shop in the same grocery stores. We're as concerned about these issues as you or anyone else is. As a city, it's our job to ensure that everyone follows the rules. Most people who live in Lenoir wouldn't want their neighbors to build something or do something that wasn't permitted. We get plenty of calls from people about barking dogs, junk cars, fire hazards, abandoned houses, safety concerns, and many more. And it's city council and all our employees' jobs to address these issues fairly and with compassion where we can. Would you want your neighbor to open a kennel or a nightclub or a junkyard in your neighborhood if that wasn't permitted? Our employees work every day to provide great services and apply the law fairly to everyone in Lenoir. We want to say that we appreciate everything our employees do. They are doing a great job and we thank them for it. As you may have read already, His Humble Hands acknowledged that they had made some mistakes. It happens. None of us are perfect. We appreciate His Humble Hands taking responsibility. We do wish people would have taken time to learn what was happening before making comments attacking the city and our staff. Our employees don't deserve to be slandered and accused over things that are not their fault. As you may or may not know, there are already more than 230 beds available in Lenoir and Caldwell County that offer various services to people in need. These include the Caldwell House, Bethel Colony, RHA Health Services, the Shelter Home, Highway to Hedges, Lean on Me Home, Jonas Hill, Kwanzaa, and many others. All these groups have followed city, state, and federal law, and we're thankful that they are all here. While all of us want to provide help to our local community members in need, we must follow rules and regulations that keep everyone safe. Just today, the faith-based community, local nonprofits, and citizens met this morning to discuss ways to move forward to address the needs of our community. This group, led by community members, plan to meet again in the near future to work out some issues with this. Thank you. This is a letter from the City Council. Thank you all, Council, for being involved in that. And now I will open this up to anyone who would like to address the council tonight. If you will, please come to the podium and give us your name and address, if you will. We would ask if you would to please kind of keep it short. We might have several people that would like to speak. We generally allow about 3 minutes for everyone to speak. So thank you, sir.
How y'all doing? My name is Joseph Twist. My address is 107 Forest Hill Drive. I'm just speaking on the behalf of His Humble Hands. I think what they're doing is a great thing. I mean, I would invite each and every single one of you to come down and volunteer 2 hours of your time. See what they're all about. See what they do. Then maybe you'll have a change of thought. I can tell you right now, I've been sober 4 years because of them. I have a home. I got 3 cars because of the help they've done for me. They can do it for everybody if you just allow it to happen. You know, I look at myself as a success story. You know, now I'm a part of them. You know, I do the homeless outreach for them. I go out there and I pick up the homeless. I take them to their doctor's appointments. And I don't see nobody else doing that. I make sure they get to their Social Security appointments. I don't see nobody else doing that. You know what I mean? We do a lot more than what y'all think. You know what I mean? We need to get a lot more credit than what y'all giving. You know, I mean, some pods, is that for real? That's all it's over, just some pods? I mean, we're not simple-minded. Let's look at the whole picture. Look at all the help that is actually coming out of this. You know what I mean? We're out to help people. I mean, like I said, I mean, if it's just pods, let's grow up. Let's look at the big picture. Let's look at the help that we can give these people, the help they need. You know what I mean? Like I said, if it wasn't for them, I'd be dead. I'd be dead. I mean, they found me dead in a tent. And then, you know, I got sobered up. I've been clean 4 years now. Like I said, you know, I mean, I got a house, 3 cars, and it's all because of them. I mean, now I serve them, serve God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now I want to give back. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the big picture. I see what really goes on. That's why I said I invite each and every single one of you, just 2 hours. Come down, give 2 hours of your time. You know what I mean? And really get the good picture of what goes on in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God runs to them. God runs to them. God runs to them deep. You know what I mean? And like I said, I would really love to see each one of you to come down there and just give it a chance. You know, let's look at the big picture here. I mean, I understand this pods, little city thing, but you know, it's more than that for us. It's the help we can give them, the love we want to give them. You know, that's all I got to say. You know what I mean? Just, you know, I mean, pods is kind of silly. You know what I mean? But that's it. Like I said, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir, come on up.
My name is Mark Allen. I don't have an address because, well, I'm homeless. But anyways, I tried the highway and hedges, whatever I call them, but they never give me a room. So, you know, I even tried RHA, but whatever, they didn't give me a room either. But I come here, well, I don't even know their names, can't remember. But I came there, and they let me in, they fed me, and they give me a bed. And I ain't been there but 3 days, and and they already have me a job, and already offered me transportation back and forth. So, you know, I don't know much. All I got is what's on is what you see here. I got a phone without service, but I mean, you know, well, they offer Wi-Fi, you know, out there, and they're good people, and they've fed me every day, and you know, I help whenever they ask or whatever they need. And I was just saying that, you know, I don't have much, but I mean, I've only been there 3 days, and they've already got me a job and everything, and they're taking me to my appointment tomorrow, you know, for my drug test and everything. But you know, I will pass. But you know, but anyways, yeah, they're good people. I mean, that's come from me, and I got a criminal history about a mile long. So I mean, you know, it's, you know. But anyways, they're really helping me. So I just wanted to say that. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, let's see, who had it? Yes, ma'am.
So my name is Beth Wisnett. My address is 2134 Harper Avenue here in Lenoir. I have been volunteering alongside of Denise and Patrick with His Humble Hands. There's a great need for housing, of course, for everyone in this area. I actually manage the Old Lenoir High School apartments for income-based housing. I work there. I volunteer for different organizations. However, there is not enough housing in our area to help the overflow with these people. Y'all mentioned RHA, Jonas Hill, but if you're not in the middle of a mental health crisis, they will not take you. I've seen it firsthand. Just working with the kind of work I do, I've seen people that actually have a need. You do have things like Kwanzaa and the women's shelter, but there again, if those are full, there's nowhere else to go. Miss Denise and Patrick did have the pods. They were supposed to be used for a different project for transitional housing, But when they got the phone call to come pick them up, it was we either had to pick them up or they went on to someone else. So with the ice and the snowstorm that was forecasted, since we had hands on those, they did use them. And I understand there is city zoning codes and all that. We all do have to adhere by that. I'm not upset by that at all. But when they were put into place, they're in the process of being moved. We do have some land that is under probate that we couldn't use at the time we received the pods. So we are going to follow the commands of, getting those removed. But when you go in there and you volunteer daily and you see 1 and 2 and 3-year-old kids, this isn't adults only that has chose drugs and other alternative. This is children. DSS has recommended people to come to this warming station to get out of the cold. We were told that firsthand. So I see the side of it from this standpoint as being, with the zoning and all that. But again, we are closing it today. But it's going to be a little transition for the next couple of days to get everything moved. But these people really are doing a great work. I have an 8-year-old daughter sitting back there whose father froze to death at the walk-in park 2 years ago due to being homeless. I look in the eyes of a child who does not have a father for the rest of her life because he was homeless. So this is very personal to me. So with that into consideration, I understand that there's zoning codes. I understand that all the rules wasn't met. But at the end of the day, there's people in our own community that are suffering. So as of now, our only option is to pray because there's nothing else we can do at this very moment. Getting them in a pod to get them out of the cold was just temporary. But then I look back to a few years ago when the warming station was down in Hudson at Pastor Randy's church. There was a gentleman by the name of Bill who had frostbite on his feet. We took him in, did what we could do to help him. I placed him in housing. I got him a rep payee. He is independently living 2 years later because somebody held out their hand to help him up. That's not the case for everybody. We can't save everyone. But at the end of the day, just having a loving heart and trying to offer them the resources that we do have means more than anything in the world. So, like I said, I want y'all to understand that what we're doing is a good thing. That's all I know.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Give us your name and address.
My name is Denise Aristia. I am the CEO of His Humble Hands.
Okay.
Y'all have to pardon me because I'm sick. Been sick all week. Hey, B. This happens to be Lucas. He's one of our children from the shelter, the warming station right now. So he will be, I won't say what's going to happen, but as of tonight, if some steps have not been put in place, he would be homeless again, out in the cold, with no car, with his sister, this 1-year-old, and she's out in the hallway. And their mom's not on drugs. She's just made some bad choices. DSS brought them over here.
She's a 21-year-old female on her own with 2 kids, don't know how to be a mother.
Okay, Patrick, I do want to say we are very sorry for what we did. It was never our intention to open a warming station for anything more than the storm. The pods were for a transitional housing program that we had as a secondary project that we were working on. They just happened to end up in our parking lot the Friday night before the storm, and we utilized them. And there's no doubt in our minds we saved somebody's life that night, especially the night that it was 8 degrees. They are being moved. We've got 2 different tow companies that are working with us to get them all moved. We've moved some already. And we would like to continue with this program about housing. The meeting that you had, we weren't invited, so we didn't know anything about it. We'd love to attend to that. We don't have to be in charge, although they do respect us because they know we work from our heart. We don't get paid to do what we do. There's no salary for it. But since we've been open for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, We've assisted over 120 homeless people, including children. This is not the only family. We have 3 clients that are sober now and have been for several days. We have many of them reporting to us that they have slowed the use of drug consumption because now they have something to do, because they help in the thrift store or in the back in the warehouse, etc. We're working with other people. The methadone clinic wants to work with us. Social services has brought families to us because there's nowhere for them to go in this county. And they need something. And we're just begging y'all, please make it possible where we could help, at least help the ones that want to help themselves. We cannot save everybody, and we're fully aware of that. But all of them are not drug addicts. There are just some people that made bad choices, seriously. We even have some that are currently employed. They can't afford rent, that's why they're homeless. I mean, it could happen to any of our children. It's happened to me in my lifetime. And I imagine it's happened to most of the people out here in the thing. So I just wanted to say that. Thank y'all for allowing us to do what we did. We appreciate it. We don't mean to cause any problems. We just want to see something happen, in the whole, not here in Lenoir, but in the whole country. We think that there has to be more that can be done by somebody, not us. We're not. We're not special by any means. And thank you for allowing me to speak, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is David McGuinn. I live at 317 Pennell Street, Northeast in Lower Creek. So I'm not affiliated with His Humble Hands in any way. I just felt moved to come here as a citizen, as a taxpayer, and a Christian. You know, we're all just one bad accident away from being homeless. And many of us know somebody or know and love somebody who may be facing a housing crisis. What the city of Lenoir really needs to prioritize right now is compassion and a way of being able to support organizations such as His Humble Hands. I was very moved by the comments of my fellow citizens over here, and there is clearly a huge need in the city and the broader region. The price of housing has gone up exponentially since COVID. It's been rising for a long time, and the housing crisis is reaching Lenoir and Caldwell County. Up the mountain, of course, prices are a lot more expensive than they are down here, but a lot of folks are relocating down here in Lenoir because of the price of housing further up 321. So that means that housing down here is becoming more expensive as well. Now, we're becoming a popular city and a county, and that's a good thing. However, it means that a lot of folks here in the city are having a much harder time affording to live here than we used to. So there's all kinds of issues at stake here. We need to be working on finding solutions for the homeless and unhoused population here, whether that's supporting our nonprofits with their efforts to provide emergency and transitional housing. Also, be able to find subsidies for folks who want to live and work here, and also provide supports for those who may be at risk for losing their housing. So I do thank you all for your effort in this regard in the future, and I do understand that this boiled down to zoning issues, and you know, the rules are the rules, and I respect that. However, I do think that regarding the temperature, that drop that we saw during this last ice storm, those were deadly temperatures. And we really need to have some flexibility when it comes to saving the lives of individuals that are living outside right now, because it could be life or death.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
My name is Amber Bradford. My address is 1266 Reed Court, Lenore. And I want to just go ahead and tell you that I wrote this down because I'm super compassionate about this topic, and this will keep me on task. So I want to read this to you because I was also a part of that discussion this morning, which I think is extremely, extremely important. It's clear from the number of people here tonight that this is an issue that deeply matters to our community. And when a room fills up like this, it's usually because people care. And I think that's something worth recognizing. We may come from different perspectives, but I believe we share the same goal, wanting individuals in our community to be safe, supported, and treated with dignity. So let me give you an introduction. So my name is Amber Bradford, and I'm the Homeless Response Manager. So all the things that you guys have said tonight, that's kind of my job, right? So I work with Western Piedmont Council of Government, but I'm also the Unsheltered Access Coordinator for North Carolina Balance Estate. That's a big deal. We cover 4 counties. Caldwell is one of those. So my role and the purpose of the Homeless Response Team is to help bring these perspectives together so we can move forward towards solutions that are both compassionate and sustainable. You may have heard the statement that homelessness is complex. At first glance, that can sound very, very simple, but when we take a closer look, as most of you have said tonight, it becomes clear how many factors are involved. Housing affordability? Absolutely. Behavioral health, employment, transportation, access to services. It rarely has a single cause, and it rarely has a single solution. Homelessness is one of those issues where everyone sees a different piece of the problem. Law enforcement may see a crisis. Service providers may see unmet needs. Residents, our community residents, may see the impact on a daily life. And families may see someone that they love that is struggling. None of those perspectives are wrong. They're just simply incomplete on their own. That is exactly why a coordinated response matters. On any given night in North Carolina, more than 11,000 people are experiencing homelessness. Nearly 40% are living outside without shelter, and that's in a car, a tent, or a place not meant for human habitation. In rural communities much like our own, those numbers are often less visible because they are just as real. Most individuals experiencing homelessness become homeless in the communities where they are currently living. They're not our strangers passing through, they're our neighbors. And many are only one crisis away. I think that was the best statement tonight. Many of us are only one crisis away of being in a similar boat. A medical issue, a job loss, a rent increase. That is one thing that can send you into housing instability very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. Without coordination, people fall through the cracks, and systems like law enforcement, EMS, hospitals and emergency services often carry that burden. The purpose of our team, the Homeless Response Team, is to bring those partners together, improve communication, and create effective pathways to help people forward, which also reduces those strains on those emergency systems and improving outcomes for everybody. As we talk about solutions and compassion, responsibility and compassion should not be in conflict. Lasting solutions require both. My role is not to oppose solutions, but to help ensure that solutions are safe, coordinated, sustainable, so they can succeed long term. If organizations or community groups want to provide shelter or transitional housing, the goal should be supported in those efforts, to connect them with resources and guide them through the requirements to help them build something that can last. Regional collaboration, we spoke about that the last time we were here. Regional collaboration matters because when services operate in isolation, even with good intentions, the burden often falls to the individuals trying to navigate those systems. There are organizations, churches, outreach teams, and regional partnerships working every single day to connect individuals to shelter, housing, and services. Is it enough? It's not. Is there room at the table for everybody? There is. That urgency is very real. There is always room to improve, but progress builds on coordination. I've also heard concerns that shelter is needed, particularly during cold weather. That is a very true statement. We actually had the ability to visit His Humble Hands, and what they were doing is pretty awesome, right? When temperatures drop, immediate response matters. At the same time, establishing an ongoing shelter requires planning, staffing, funding, and coordination. Our community has experienced this before. A previous shelter effort closed due to sustainability challenges, and that is not criticism, it's a lesson. It shows that success depends not only on need, but on structure and long-term support. If expanded, shelter capacity is needed, then the path forward is working together safely, sustainable, and in coordination with regional systems. Urgency and oversight are not opposites. If we care about people, then the path forward is collaboration, bringing compassion and coordination together so solutions can last. This is not about stopping anybody that wants to help. It's about making sure that when help is provided, it's safe, sustainable, and positioned to succeed long term. We all want the same outcome, people being safe and supported, and that happens most effectively when efforts are connected, compliant, and built in partnership. I just want to say this very quickly, and then I'm going to wrap it up. The city got a really terrible rap, right? I seen the Facebook post. We kind of went through those pretty quickly, and what you don't see behind the scenes are law enforcement or code enforcement or people calling our team to get people connected. I deal with that every single day. I get people that call from organizations every single day, churches, faith-based ministries. We are all on the same page working towards the same goal, and we have to remember that because we need each other to move this in a direction that it needs to go. So with that being said, we can be compassionate. We can be a compassionate community and a responsible community at the same time. And when we work together, we can create those solutions that are stronger than one effort alone. If people are interested to get connected to the homeless response team, we have a line that you can call. We have an email that you can forward to. We have 4 people on our team that work as cogs. We work to connect people to available resources so one group doesn't have to do it. And I can provide that information to anybody that would like to have it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address? Yes, I think this young lady was waiting. She's been waiting. I'll let her, then you can come after her. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Susanna Miller. I don't have an address. I'm staying at His Humble Hands. I'm actually the mom that Miss Denise and Patrick were telling you about. That's my 2-year-old, and my 1-year-old daughter is also out there. If it hadn't been for my social worker finding the number for His Humble Hands, I would have nowhere. We called everywhere we could. The women's shelter, RHA, most of the places you named. Nowhere had room. And we got a last-second chance with this place, and they were all for it. They told my social worker, they said, bring her in, we've got her. I just had to make, because of everything, shutting down, us having to move, which I understand, rules are rules, you have to follow them for everybody's safety. If I hadn't made the hardest decision I have ever made in my life, I probably would be losing my children tomorrow. But they helped me, and they're still helping me. I don't know what I'd do without them. I hope you can find it in your hearts to have a little bit of compassion with this, because this really has helped a lot of people. I've seen it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You want to?
Hi, my name is Lynn Elliott. I'm the manager of the thrift store at His Humble Hands. I used to run a disaster center in California, so I'm very familiar with the problems of the homeless and what's needed in a disaster. If not for the storm, the pods would never have been put into use. They were never planned to be used at that location. They were only going to go to an area that we were setting up for transitional housing. However, what we were going to do at the location that we are now, because of the emergency, is we were not going to house just the homeless. We were going to house anyone in the community that had lost power or lost the ability to heat their home during the ice storm. And it could have been an epic storm with many people at risk, children, the elderly, the medically fragile. And we were going to allow them in our building. Having seen what happens in a disaster of the proportion that they said could happen, it could have been horrible. So I want you to remember that it wasn't just the homeless that we were trying to help, it was the entire community, including any of you that could have lost power and been at risk. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You got to pardon me because I'm kind of passionate about it as well. My name is Corey Howard, and I'm currently homeless. I came to Patrick now with a 2-year-old. I'm one of the families there. Without them, I don't know where my family would have ended up. I brought them there in unity, but ultimately, due to the limits and the pods not being there, my family separated now. You know, I'm not originally from this community, but since I've been here, looking from the outside in on the homeless issues, I ask myself, like, I know and understand, like, some people have mental issues or substance abuse issues that hinder them from wanting to take the steps to get help. But like one person said, everyone's not under in drugs and stuff like that. I, for one, am one of the ones that have a 9-to-5 job at His Humble Hands. I've been working before that. I was living check to check, and I couldn't afford to miss a beat, but I did. And ultimately, I ended up getting evicted during the house storm, lost my vehicle and everything. But I'm taking steps towards getting that together, and the food, clothing, and shelter that His Humble Hands has provided is phenomenal. You know, I witnessed Patrick put his foot down and to make that place a good place, a safe place for people. I know and understand that there's rules and regulations with the city. When it comes to the housing crisis and things of that nature, you would think money wouldn't be the overall deciding factor when helping people, because at the end of the day, it's enough funds to help people. You know, it just got to be orchestrated somewhere else or whatever. But in comparisons to the location and the surrounding area and what they have done, there's no comparison to that building or them being compared to a junkyard, being next to a junkyard or a dog kennel. No one's in there animals, or we don't have junk cars. So, yeah, I just to reiterate, like I said, I'm really passionate about this, and I appreciate everything. One thing I would like to know and try to figure out, like, if there was a zoning issue and everybody bear witness that he was doing great things and His Humble Hands have has a good standing in the community, like in all these other nonprofit organizations? Where's the partnership? Even though zoning was a problem, you know, and people take a look at what they done, what they do, you know, where's the partnership moving forward? I would just think that, you know, they're good people and they deserve chance and opportunity and platform to continue what they're doing in all respects to the law and zones and stuff like that. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I have more to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you. Chief Jacobs, will you come up for us? Thank you.
My name is Chris Jacobs. I'm the fire marshal for the city of Lenoir. And just wanted to cover some things. It seems like we cross this bridge every 3 years. We have a organization that is doing the right thing. Many times that's what happens. I've dealt with lots of leaders of organizations. We're all good people, all right? And sometimes what happens is, I don't want to use the word doing the wrong thing, it's doing it in the wrong way. So on the fire side, a lot of times we run into things just like we talked the day before the ice storm hit. I went to each of one of these warming stations and we had a discussion on what the rules are, what can you do, what can you not do, trying to be that proactive source that we all need, all right? So let's say that I want a warming shelter. Well, what is that? Is that a place where I can spend the night? Is that a place where I can set up a bed and rest and that thing? The answer is no, all right? Because a shelter is going to require a sprinkler system. It's going to require a fire alarm system. And that's for the protection of those people. It's not about, you know, I've got a hard heart or I'm not a Christian. It's that if, and I told Pastor Wilfong this, if one of these people that are homeless die out there in the freezing cold, guess who has to live with that? That's me. If they die in this same building that doesn't have a sprinkler system, that's still me. All right, so I have to meet in the middle and figure out, well, how do we accomplish that goal of protecting the homeless or those people that the power went out, because that ice storm could have done that, and we have to plan that out. We work closely with County EM. Their responsibility is shelters for those type of situations. How do we put those in? Which ones do we put in place? That kind of thing. Like I said, I just want to give you an idea of some of the bridges that we have to cross along with zoning. They've got laws that we have to abide by. You know, it's not about the situation, it's about the long-term result of what may be going on, okay? So that's why we make those decisions sometimes. And I would open up for questions if the council would like to ask me something, or the public, either one.
I understand we need a water sprinkler, never
Yes,
argue
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
But y'all could've got water hose out quicker than you could've moved your fire trucks, we're right beside you.
Yeah, and that's true, location is everything, but that fire sprinkler system's designed to put it out almost immediately.
I get
Yeah,
it, I get it, and I'm not arguing with you,
Right, right,
you've been
right.
good to me, so I'm not
That's right.
arguing with you. I'm just making a minute
You're right,
point.
you're right, we're right next door.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have been somewhere else around the fire department, it'd have been a different thing.
Right, right. Right. Good. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to address the council? I see a hand, I think. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Tabitha Barrier. I'm homeless. I'm just now got there. If they wouldn't for these people, I would have been dead right now. I was up in the mountains in a tent, homeless, for a year. It snowed, iced, and I was still in a tent, didn't have nowhere to go. If it wasn't for these people bringing me in like they did, I would be dead right now. And my husband, because we was up in the mountains, deep in the mountains of Mulberry, if anybody knows where that's at, in a tent. The guy that was with us got drunk and went off the handle and smashed my tent in. And I didn't have nowhere to go or anything. Took everything I had, all my food stamps, everything. He didn't care if I was died or lived or anything. If it wasn't for these people, me and my husband would be dead right now. There's babies in this place that don't have nowhere to go. And that's what gets me. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address the council? Thank you. We certainly appreciate all these comments. We understand how it is and what's going on, and understand that we all here, sitting on this podium and living in this community, all have hearts, and we all believe and we want things to be, but we do have to follow rules and what they are. Not our laws, these are state laws. There's a lot of things that go into play, and we certainly don't want anybody to get hurt in any way, shape, or form. So we just try to do the best we can, and I think our staff try to do a good job of working with that, and we thank you. Thank you for all of that. Okay, we're gonna move on. We still have some meeting to do. We appreciate that. We don't have any reports of our boards and commissions this evening, so we'll move on to the report and recommendations of our city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mayor, Council, just 2 items for information this evening. You have a committee of the whole meeting next Tuesday, February 24th, 8:30 a.m., 3rd floor, City Hall. Also, the Foothills Regional Airport Authority will meet on Wednesday, February 25th at noon at the airport. And that's the only meetings I have for your information.
Thank you. Any questions of manager? All right, we'll move on. Report of the city attorney. Mr. Rohr, anything?
Nothing to report.
Thank you, sir. I do have a recommendation, well, at least to let you know about a recommendation will be coming for we have an open seat on our planning board for an unexpired term ending in June of 2027. And I would like to recommend to the council, not tonight for your consideration, Mr. John Arnaud, who has had an interest in serving on it in the community. Has talked with Hannah, our planning director, Hannah Williams, our planning director, about serving, and I have had a conversation with him. I think he would be a good fit to our board. Seems to have a lot of knowledge in this line and everything, so I will make that recommendation to you at our next meeting, but I just wanted to let you know the consideration of that tonight on that. All right, I will then turn it to any council members, any recommendations of any of our council members tonight concerning anything. Seeing none, nothing else to come before us, we stand adjourned.